What is up, everyone? JD here. I hope you're all doing well today. Today, I'm super excited to bring you my full review of the Spyderco Endela. This one here has the coated 20CV blade and is a DLT trading exclusive. The blade length is 3.4 inches. You can get it for a little bit cheaper, uncoated as well, but we'll dive into that a little bit more here shortly. The length of the handles is 4.6 in and it is FRN bi-directional. Very well done too, by the way. Overall length 8.1 inches and a claimed weight of 3.1 ounces. Let's go ahead and check that really quickly. .1. It's probably because I slammed it down and confused my poor little cheap Amazon scale, but 3.1 claim, 3.1 is the actual weight. Let's go ahead and run through the comparison knives really quick, and then we will dive into this knife. First up, I'd like to bring out my Spyderco Yojimbo 2. This also is a DLT trading exclusive, and as you can see, very comparable in length, size overall. Like that a lot. Both of these are the coated 20CV blade steel, and I'm just realizing I must have bumped my camera. I am a little bit crooked. Let me realign quickly. Thanks for your patience. I appreciate that. Next up is going to be the Spyderco Shaman. This one is the coated S30V variant with the fat carbon dark matter scales made by Carbodize over on Instagram. As you can see, this is just more closely comparable to the Yojimbo 2. If you look at the two of these knives, you can see end to end, tip to tip, just much more comparable than it is with the Shaman. The Shaman is just overall a much longer knife. Even with those scales, you can see here from edge to edge, tip to tip, you can just see the Shaman is just a touch longer overall. Let me go ahead and get these guys out the way, and we'll bring in the crossbar lock knives. First up being the Benchmade bug out. The bug out is going to be just a little bit shorter than the Endela, but it is going to be very comparable thinness and as far as overall profile. And then next up from the same series, the Case Kinzua with the S35 VN blade steel and the aluminum scales. You can see these are very, very close in length overall. There you go. You can see very, very close in the overall length. And cutting edge, I would say that's probably pretty close. It might be a little bit longer on the case, but again, awesome knife, 115 bucks made in the USA. What a fantastic value, and what a really nice first attempt at that model. Last but not least is going to be my budget knives. First up is going to be the Kubi Royal, which is a sub 3-inch knife. As you can see here, just much smaller than the Endela. And last but not least is going to be my Buck 110, under $28 for this one, and a little bit longer than the Endela. It does give you 420 HC steel, and it also has the FRN handles. This one is a lock back, so this one's going to be a really good work knife because not much is going to clog it up or slow it down. All right, let's go ahead and dive into the Endela. Again, you saw the case, and if you've been watching the series, you know this is part of a series that I've continued to do where I'm trying to find different knives that are at an affordable value that are giving you exceptional bang for the buck, but they're not Chinese. And this is not a Buy USA ploy here. This is a Seki City, Japan build here. I wanted to, again, emphasize that I'm looking to diversify what it is that you can get for your money, what you're getting out of the build depending on your price point, and it not necessarily come from China, because I just feel like the Chinese knives are made well, and I'm not denying that. I'm just simply saying that they're dominating the market, and I wanted to challenge myself to see what else I could find that was of an interesting build that might be worth a second look for spending your money on. So this one here, you can get the uncoated variant for just over 100 bucks. I think it's like $105 over on DLT. Uncoated 20CV, FRN, lockback. This one is a little bit more fidgety than a traditional lockback though. It is in a spot where you can manipulate it one-handed, which I think is appealing. Is it as fidgety as an access lock or a shark lock? Of course not. Of course not. But it is oddly satisfying to use. And I say oddly because I wasn't anticipating being able to one hand manipulate this so easily, and I wasn't expecting it to be quite so fidgety. You do have to put a lot of gas behind the flip out to get that to deploy one-handed. Otherwise, you're just going to simply slow roll it and close it slow. Ergos are really nice on this. The bidirectional pattern really gives you confidence and grip. And then it is really well chamfered all along the edges, and you do have jimping on the spine, but this thing is super comfortable in hand, and I'm really surprised by that. Again, for $105, 20 CV, that's a fantastic deal, and it is a Japanese quality built knife. Again, Seiki City, Japan. I've never owned a knife from Japan. I've heard very good things about their factories and their production, and so far, this has really lived up to the hype. This is a very thin and slicey blade, and they did curve the tip down here just a little bit to give it a little strength out there in the tip, but it does have a fantastic edge, and it does slice through the material really, really well. And even with the coated blade, I do not feel any resistance in there. I know that the polished blades or the uncoated blades typically go through the materials with a little bit less resistance, but honestly, I've never really felt a huge difference from the coated to uncoated, at least not in my use, and maybe I'm just aloof to it altogether, but this knife is really impressive. It is 4-way pocket reversible. It has really good access to that lock back. It has a nice stop spot for that finger so that you can somewhat close it with one hand using the lock back, or at least getting it into a good spot to where you can go ahead and close it. So that's nice. If you're holding something in place and you need to make a cut, you can get this out of the pocket, get to what you need, make your cut, and then put it away and be done, and have your other hand free to come back and finish, whatever it is that you're working on. The looks on this, it might not be the greatest looking knife ever, but for what you're getting for your money, 20 CV, fantastic edge. You're getting a Spyderco built knife, which is an excellent build quality. Spyderco makes fantastic knives. The build quality on any Spyderco I've ever had has been fantastic. They always come centered. They always remain centered. Even if I take them apart to do the maintenance and put them back together, they're centered, and the action's really easy to tune back to where you want it to be. And again, just a really fidgety knife. Not this one, I'm just saying Spyderco's, because of the spider hole are kind of intuitive to use. Even if you gave this to an older person, I mean, it's so apparent what it is that you're grabbing to open this knife, if that's what they're used to, if they're used to the old bucks. Really obvious. And again, 4-way reversible pocket clip. It is not deep carry, but I don't think for this particular knife I really care. It's going to leave that much out of the pocket, which is really nice to grab to pull it out, because it is such a thin knife. I don't see myself really doing anything with this one. I actually look at this as the type of knife that you pick up and put in your inventory because you want to work with it and you're not really worried about the looks or dressing it up or doing anything like that. I think it is nice that they did try to offer this ladybug style, or reverse ladybug, I guess I should say. Or no, actually that probably is right. It is red with black spots, right? Yeah, I think that's right. So this ladybug look, kind of cool. Overall, I can definitely recommend this knife. Again, I don't know too many knives out there where you're going to get 20 CV for under $120. Under 110 if you don't care about coating that 20 CV blade, which is not super corrosive resistant. Hard pressed to find it at that price point. So highly recommendable knife. I have actually really enjoyed the build quality of it and the ergos, and these type knives are probably the ones that I'm going to keep out and about when I need to break down a bunch of boxes and things of that nature, because it's going to really just excel at that particular task, and it's going to be really comfortable for long periods of time to do that. I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, do me a favor, leave a like, leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think about this series, where I'm just trying to explore, right? Trying to look at different countries of origins and seeing everything that you can possibly get at whatever price point. And it's not a buy here or buy there video. I hope no one interprets this as that. This is more of me being curious of other build qualities, because being a younger channel and being a little bit newer to presenting as a content creator, I wanted to explore and experience knives from different countries and kind of get a really good handle on it, because I think you can go anywhere. You can throw a rock in any direction and hit a channel that's going to tell you about a fantastic Chinese built knife. You can do that all day, every day. I thought this would be fun to deviate from that. And that's not to say that I'm not going to do that, because I certainly want to see what is out there, how it's built, and why it's popular, and if I can recommend it, if it helps anyone. Anyway, if you enjoyed the content, do me a favor, think about subscribing. And if you already have, thank you so much for the support. I really appreciate you. And I hope you have a fantastic week. Until next time, everyone, peace.